Hey everybody, I'm just taking a look here at your shapes wiki, and I took everybody's names and put them in their groups. And I thought you would find it interesting to see this. Um, so this is pretty typical of my ed classes. I give everybody the shape test in every ed class, and some of you have taken them before because you've taken my class before. But you'll see most of you ended up in the circle box, or at least it was one of the top two if you were tied. And I find that's very common in ed classes. We tend to be a lot of circles. I am a circle. And I swore when I took the test I was not a circle. I was definitely a triangle, and took the test and I was most definitely a circle. And I found it hysterical because I was deflated. I wanted to be that triangle, and the more I got to know the circles, the more I realized I'm most definitely a circle. I'm a circle with triangle tendencies is what I like to say. So your triangles here, Brian, Garrett, Becky, and Brittany, probably you're going to find yourselves drawn to administrations. Don't be surprised if you tend to head that way. That's a triangle sort of path. And Kinsey and Kristen, under the rectangle. That's kind of an interesting category to fall in. I thought the rectangle was more about being in a state of change, and so I would think that that could be reflective with you going through school and maybe doing a career change kind of thing, or picking out your career. So I'm not surprised at all to see you in the rectangle now, but you may find that you go into another square, or excuse me, another shape later on. And let's see, what else can I tell you? You know what's really interesting is looking at these names and where you fell in the shapes. Carl, Becky, and Jennifer, to see you guys be squiggles, not a surprise. I already know Jen from a class that she took face-to-face, but just based on my emails with you guys, I wasn't surprised at all. I said, oh, of course they are squiggles. I know they're squiggles. I can tell they're squiggles from their emails. So I thought that was kind of funny. And also with some of you in triangles as well from your emails, I said, oh, these are triangles. Of course, Garrett came in. I've met you face to face, so I know you're a triangle. I could have told you that 3 seconds after you came in my door, but anyway, very funny. So I hope it was interesting, and I do this activity to help with grouping. So if we were in a face-to-face class, when I created groups, I would try to get somebody from each shape in a group. It's very hard to do in an ed class because, again, we're just all circles. But when I teach a general ed class, like I teach a computer science class or study skills class where it's a diverse group of students, I'll give them this test and then make sure I have one of each shape in each group, and the groups function much, much more efficiently. One of the activities we did in a faculty in-service was we took these shape tests, and they put us in groups based on our shapes. So all of the circles were together, all the squiggles were together, all the squares were together. And they gave us a task. And it was probably the most frustrating 25 minutes of my life. I wanted to kill everybody else at my table because we were all circles. And all we wanted to do was chit-chat and talk about food and be social. And that's kind of, circles tend to be like that. But we weren't getting our work done. And so for me, being slightly triangle-ish, I wanted the triangle to come and lead us, and I was frustrated when we didn't have that. And it was funny because the triangle table, they really were, killing each other, all trying to lead, and that was kind of funny to see. And then the squiggle table was just off in La La Land making funny hats with papers and not paying attention, and it was really, really funny. But that was probably one of the best exercises I've ever done in a faculty in-service, because it really showed that when you put students together that all have the same strengths, the group just falls into total chaos. But if you can pick groups where each student has a distinct and a natural tendency to have a specialty, that group functions much better. So I'm so much happier when I have a triangle to lead me, and when I have a square who will check all the boxes and keep everything lined up nice and neat and organize me. And then I always want my squiggle because they are so much fun. And squiggles are the ones that are the spice of life. So you just can't get by without having a couple squiggles in your life, and certainly not in your group. And I'm not ignoring rectangles at all, but I feel that rectangles, really, you're kind of a shapeshifter, and so you really belong in one of those four. You're just not in there right now. So anyway, I hope it was fun. I hope it was useful, and I would highly recommend borrowing these worksheets from me. Throw them in your portfolio for later, and pull them out sometime when you are teaching something. Obviously, kindergartners can't take this, but I think you could use this with a high school group, or you may at some point be teaching adults, and it's very helpful. So thanks for playing along. I hope it was fun.